Welcome back to the Blue Collar Trade Show, where real people share real stories about building, fixing, leading, and living with purpose. I'm Troy, and I'm here with the crew, Chad, Jim, Marissa. Each week we dig into lessons, have laughs, and hard-won wisdom from the folks who keep America running. Let's get into it. All right, welcome everyone to the Blue Collar Trade Show. And today I want to introduce our very special guest, Jordie Kern from the 7 Eagle Group. He's the founder of the 7 Eagle Group. Welcome to the show, Jordie.
Thank you, Troy. What an honor to be here with you guys. Chad, Jim, Marissa, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Very excited. So the Blue Collar Recruiter, we invited Jordie. The Blue Collar Recruiter and the 7 Eagle Group have been partners in business now for a year, right? Can you believe it? For a whole year. And a lot of really, really magical things have happened in our own team, outside of our teams, and that sort of thing. And a lot of things have been happening with you, Jordie, personally and in your business. So super excited to kind of introduce you to our world and just to hear what you got cooking. So again, thank you for giving us some time today. Very much appreciated.
And I'm excited.
All right, so I'll just kick this off, and we're just going to go around the horn. So we keep this very loose and very open, and we have a couple chuckles as we go here, I hope so. But just you've got a cool background. Everybody's been digging into it, so you've been doing a lot of different things. I see things from we've got the New York Rangers. We got all this stuff going on, right? Roberto Clemente. We got all this stuff, and then you go ahead and just on the side start this fantastic business. So tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, thank you. So I didn't serve myself. I wish I did. It's one of those regrets I have. My dad did in World War II, and I grew up in the 80s. He never really talked about service and his experience in the war. It was just very superficial stuff, and so it didn't even cross my mind when I was graduating. But as I got older, decided it was in my late 40s. I said, man, I want to really do something to help guys like Jim, who were coming out of the service, and help them with their second act. And that's why I launched 7 Eagle. But before that, I was mostly doing stuff in sort of in the youth sports area. But I love this. I wish I came across this in my 20s, because this has been we always tell our vets, work hard to find what's your dream career. What do you really want to do? For me, it took me 25 years personally, but I love the work. I love getting up every day and helping to make these connections. So,
all right, let's go back. So your dad was in World War II, right?
Yeah.
So that makes you what, 70, 74?
My dad was 7. He just turned 17 when he served. He lied.
Is that right? Wow,
he said,
that's amazing.
It was right after Pearl Harbor. He said, every kid in the neighborhood signed up. I go, didn't cross your mind not to? He goes, no, that's what we all did. So, he was really young when he served. But
did he mention anything about a guy named Jim Nichols?
That was my second enlistment, World War II. I've been around a while, but
all right. So you said, and everybody else just jump in, but you said that, so you kind of regret not going into the service, right? But it all worked out, and who knows, right? You might not have done this if you did that. So everything happens for a reason. But talk a little bit about the past. So you're a sports guy. I saw that you went to the University of Wisconsin, and I'll tell you a quick story. But Madison, what'd you do there? Why'd you go there? Guy from New York.
I know. I wanted just something different. So all my friends were staying on the East Coast. I grew up in the East, and so I did something a little crazy. It was a $10 application to apply. I said I could do that. They didn't ask for my SAT scores, even better. But I went to school, had a good time in the Midwest, and just being a young sports fanatic, I guess at that age, I was like, I want to work in sports. So, always knew I wanted to be my own boss. And, so started out working, business with Roberto Clemente's family, where we took baseball players to Puerto Rico. And then that evolved into.
How'd you get into that? I mean, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, that's you walk by it like it's nothing, right? So how'd that happen?
Oh man, when was just looking for ideas at the time. Like the youth sports travel was just starting. This was in the early 90s. And I just saw an opportunity to take baseball teams for their spring break to Puerto Rico. So that was super fun. We brought hundreds of kids every year from their high school teams. They'd come to Puerto Rico. We'd hire pro scouts and college coaches to come teach them. And then we'd play games throughout the island in Puerto Rico against these local teams who absolutely kicked our butts. But it was a lot of fun.
They got to play baseball 12 months a year, not 3.
Yeah.
Right?
And then, so I did that for a while. And then we hooked up with the New York Rangers and did hockey trips up to Canada, sort of a similar type structure. And I just, as I got older, I was like, hey, I wanted to do something else that, something I really loved. And this is the career that was
got sick of helping kids. Let me help adults.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Marissa, have you ever heard of a guy named Roberto Clemente?
I have not.
All right. Jim, you didn't probably have it on the back of your, yeah. You're on mute, Jim.
Very, very famous violinist, I think, wasn't he?
Violin. Oh.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't let him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was a Hall of Fame baseball player that died tragically in a plane crash delivering supplies to earthquake victims.
Look at that. Very good.
And he died on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And when he died, he had, that season that just passed, he had collected his 3,000th hit.
Yeah.
So when he died, he had 3,000 hits.
Wow.
So
what earthquake was it, Joe?
I don't know.
I do not know that part, Jim.
I mean, I'm guessing, gosh, I can't remember now.
Probably 2 or 3. Yeah, he's still like beloved on that island, man. He's and they built the government built this big facility in his name after he died, and they let his family run it, and just like a big sports complex. And they were happy to sort of host us and be a part of that experience for the kids. It was a lot of fun.
So he's
very cool.
Major League Baseball Man of the Year type of thing, right?
Yeah.
He's a big deal. He's like the Walter Payton thing. It's
right.
So you should look him up. He's
yeah. Well, wait. So Puerto Rico, is that where he was from?
Yeah. Well, I was looking for. We wanted a place that was had great weather in the winter too. Yeah. Are you from? You're from PR?
No, I said I'll start playing baseball together.
Oh, you start playing. Oh, okay. I got you.
She's from the PR of the North, Indiana.
Right.
Yeah,
Indiana.
So if you're in Wisconsin, you probably had the winters. Did you love that? Was that your favorite part?
The what? The winters?
Yeah, the winters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Being in the beach.
I can't beat it.
I just
Jordie, I want to celebrate one of our wins. I don't know if Matt told you, but we had one of the 7 Eagle referrals that we placed with a company. He was from the Air Force. He got out of the Air Force. He's part of SkillBridge in Sacramento, and we placed him with a fire alarm company there, which was his dream job.
Oh,
and he
gosh.
started yesterday.
Hey, that's awesome.
Hey, there you go.
We're very proud of that, and hopefully it's the first of many. But
yes,
I think it's
love
a great
that
program, and it was funny when I called the company, the guy that I saw that he was looking for fire alarm technicians, and I called, told him who I was, and he said, "Please tell me you have someone for me to hire."
Wow.
And I said, "I got this guy that's getting out of the Air Force, and he is, and they fell in love with him and hired him on the spot, and he started yesterday. So
that's terrific.
Cool.
We'll have to we'll do a highlight feature on him. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great news. I love those stories. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we think about this. All right. So you have a sports background. You like to do, your dad's in the military. So, but there was a time where you Seven Eagle Group. I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere, right? So it's a mission. It's so tell us where that kind of came from, where the idea came from. Just give us the.
I was sort of in between businesses, and I was looking for something different to do. And I was like, I think I want a job where I can work at home, not have other partners. I've always felt I was really good at helping people connect with jobs and get hired. I knew it from the business owner standpoint. I knew it from the candidate side. And then I just trying to tie in a feel good to it, to be unique, to be different. And I said, man, the vets have such great qualities and that discipline and grit and toughness. And that's exactly what corporate America needs. And that was sort of the idea.
Was there somebody that kind of stood out to you that you're just like, or you just saw?
Yeah, I had a few buddies at the time who had served, and I saw how well they were doing in their military careers. And, as a civilian, I know I'm similar to a lot of others. We're very impressed by, what these veterans, what these great men and women, do, how they raise their hand for our country, and just how talented they are, and how, that dedication, that grit, that leadership that they bring to the table, and how they can, they're coachable. And it just seemed like a natural fit for a business to bring on more veterans.
So the name, all that, what does that mean?
I wish I had a good answer for that one. 7 was my favorite number growing up. And
there you go.
And I just wanted something short that I had a
like
short
Eagles.
URL. I don't have any great story behind that. I just wanted something patriotic, so I had the word eagle in there. But
well, let's come up with a story. Let's make one up.
We can make it up. We can definitely make it up. Is it primarily trades that it's geared towards?
When I started, probably my first 2 years, that's all I did was trades. And then I evolved into other careers as we got a little bigger. Yeah. But now it's funny because now I see it circling back, where a lot of people are now coming back to the trades who were shunning them prior,
Well, I've been in the trades my whole life, man. And you had me at the word grit, because that's exactly what it takes to be successful in the trades. And that's what I think about when I think about people coming out of the military, the dedication and the grit. That's a great word for it, man.
Yeah. And so many of the vets do physical manual labor type jobs in the service, whether they're working on planes or tanks or trucks, or, they're working with their hands. They like that, putting them in a cubicle in some office setting is not in line with what they want to do. They want to just keep doing those physical jobs and being on their feet.
Sure that they're geared towards it. I mean, nowadays, sometimes when I get somebody younger, it's like this their first time ever being outdoors. They just have no idea what to do with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
look at their hands, right?
Right. Yep. Oh, I look right at
calluses. But especially now, I don't know if you guys see it, but just this last year, I think it's AI is what started this. Is a lot of people are considering the trades when they did not before. They just see man, that could be a career path that could provide security and upward mobility and a much easier path often to get hired than trying to compete. I want to be a IT tech or a project manager, or, some other job that's might not have as much upside.
So when you take that, when you have a candidate or someone, all right, so let me back up. So when someone comes to Seven Eagle Group, and, so was it tied to, talk about it, right? So talk about what you do and how it works and how it ties to the Department of War and all this stuff. I mean, it's a cool thing that honestly, if I didn't know it, it wasn't because it was mostly because I just didn't pay any attention to it until we all met. Right. So, but it's been around for a little while.
Yeah, I think it's probably about 7 years now. So the DoD has this amazing program. It's called SkillBridge that gives the service member an opportunity to leave, or his or her military obligations, it's up to 180 days prior to their exit. So they can use that time period, and it's typically about 3 months on average is what they get approved for, but typically about a 3-month period where they're still active duty, they're still receiving their military salary and benefits, but they can come to a program like ours at Seven Eagle, where we're an authorized provider of the program. They can come to us and we help them with this transition. And the goal is to help them have a smooth landing into this next chapter. To have them put the odds in their favor of being a permanently employed veteran on day one, so we don't have that unemployment gap. Because as you know, whether you're a veteran or civilian, when you're not working, and getting behind on your bills and the relationships suffer, and the anxiety, there are just a lot of bad things that happen when people aren't able to provide for themselves and their families. And this program helps increase the likelihood that they will be employed when they turn a veteran, because they don't have the pressure during that 3 months to have a job, because they're already getting paid by the military, so they can focus full time on getting themselves job ready. And we spend time with them. First and foremost, we help them identify what is their dream job. What do they really want to do? What's going to make them happiest? What's that career path that they deserve? And it's a different answer for everyone. It's a very unique decision. And then we teach them all about, networking and interviewing and getting their LinkedIn page going, and all the mental mindset and the culture, all the stuff that goes into that, so they have the confidence to really do well when they're presenting themselves to these hiring companies. And then from there, we put them into, we call it an OJT, an on-the-job training experience, where they get a chance to go into a company they think they might want to work for, or an industry, and have a chance to sort of kick the tires on it and just say, hey, do I like being here? Is this the career path that could be a good one for my first job out of the service? And then the flip side of that is the companies get a chance to see a potential permanent hire in action, which is invaluable. You think about how we hire in America, it hasn't changed in 100 years. It's like we're looking at a sheet of paper and trying to make a decision. Hey, do we want to interview this candidate? And then they come in for an interview, and somebody who can rehearse those answers, it's very easy to get through that process. Then they start working, and more often than not, we see that it's very hard to predict if somebody is going to be the top performer you need just based on an interview, based on a resume. You really need to see how they work, and do you get along? Because there are, we each have our checklist, right? The candidate has a list of what they want to see in an employer, and then the employer says, hey, I want to see these items in candidates who work for me. And sometimes you can't tell unless you start the work together, so that's why it's just an amazing program, I feel. And it's really giving veterans, I think, an edge, and giving companies a chance to put together a stronger team of performers.
Chad.
So when you talk about, I'm familiar with this, like, especially in the last year, like you said, with AI coming out, it's almost like they put in ChatGPT or whatever. How do I interview with an air conditioning company or whatever, right? So it's impossible to tell. So the
Awesome.
OJT is critical. That's really, really cool. Now, let me ask you this. Do you maintain communication with these folks after they leave the eagle's nest?
Yeah, we
there you go.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Yes, we try our best to keep in touch with them to see how they're going. We want them to know, hey, that when we work with you, it's not just for this first job. We want to be here for you throughout your career, being a part of this community. I mean, every day we have I think we had 100 transitioning vets, all on Zoom. We have them on every day for 4 or 5 hours a day.
That's cool.
So it's a chance for them to, to feel a part of that community that they often leave, to know that there are other folks here with them who can support them, motivate them, and be there with them throughout.
That's huge. That's huge because I have a lot of military friends. Like you, I regret not going into the services. Well, me and my buddies were all going in the Marine Corps. They all went to go and do the steps, and I was too busy putting in air conditioners. But we all have our purpose. If it wasn't for me, we'd be less about a couple hundred air conditioning technicians in the world today. So yeah.
Jordie, also, I think it's important. One of the things that I noticed is that you guys, you're also, you allow spouses to go through your program, which I think is really cool because, I think that's one of the unsung parts of military service is what the spouses go through. So I think it's really cool that you involve them in that as well. If you want to speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, we believe like the military spouse, I think, deserves our support as much as the serving member. I mean, these are some incredibly talented people who had to put their lives on hold to travel all around to the next base assignment or raise the kids, and while the serving member did their thing. And so we try to involve them as much as we can, and to get them involved and get them presented to the hiring companies as well. So yeah, thank you for recognizing that.
What would you say? So, all right, so you talk through, so that they come out, what does it look like for them? So if I'm exiting the Air Force or whatever, what's their experience like? So from what is it, Jim? 6 months, 90 days or so before they exit and decide they're not going to carry on. Then they start getting contacted by companies like Seven Eagle, right?
Well, they contact companies.
Oh, they do. Okay. So walk through that experience for us and for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are about 5,000 companies who are authorized providers of this SkillBridge program. Most of those, other than like a handful, were included in that. Most of them are individual companies. So it's like Google or Lockheed or Pratt & Whitney or Raytheon or Facebook. So the SkillBridgers, we call them SkillBridge, the transitioning vets, see that list and they can start applying to all these companies out there. And what happens is most people apply to the big brand name companies they know. And even those big guys are only hiring a certain number of people each year. So for example, every year about 200,000 veterans transition. They leave the service. And last year, only 20,000 of them did SkillBridge. So
really,
majority of them didn't get the opportunity. We're unique in that we can accept as many people who want to do the program. They do it with us, and then we try to place them into other companies from there. So we try to open it up to as many as we can. But yeah, and then they come on board with us, and it ranges depending on how much time their commanding officer will allow for them to be in the program. But it's on average, like I said, about 3 months. And we meet with them on Zoom every day from 11 to 4. And each week we bring in about 20 different speakers from all different industries. I think this week we had the Philadelphia Eagles came, the football team. We had companies from construction and aerospace and drones and real estate and you guys. So we try to expose them to a variety of different industries, because my feeling is the number one sort of hurdle I think that transitioning vets go through is they choose the wrong career path, right? Maybe they were working in cybersecurity in the Air Force, and they come out thinking that, well, I got to go work in cyber now. And maybe that's not their path. Maybe they need to, they say, oh my gosh, chance to build, to install fire alarms or to work in a smart manufacturing company. Maybe that's a better path for them. So we try to, it's almost like a career fair every day where they get to hear the stories of executives who work in all these different industries. Just sort of share what it's like to work in a music company or in engineering or work on the manufacturing floor. So we try to give them different viewpoints at these careers, because there's so much to learn and so much to that most people don't know the first thing about what it's like to work in some of these areas. And our goal there is to help them determine what is their path, what is that initial path for them. And then once we do, that's usually when like the magic happens. That's when they get really excited and passionate, and then we try to connect them with companies in those areas.
Do you have a pretty good? Funny because there's a lot of military MOSs, if you will, or jobs in the military that just don't translate.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a radar operator, and there's just not a lot of companies out there looking for radar, qualified radar operators.
Yeah.
And there was one of the it was funny, one of the SkillBridge guys that I was reading his profile on your website, and he had 23 years of service, and he was an aircraft mechanic. And he said his dream job is anything but looking at airplanes. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
which
that happens,
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah.
I love, like, use your example, radio guy, but you have so many soft skills and all these great character traits that you might not realize how the opportunity you had to learn this stuff compared to the average civilian who never gets a chance to be exposed to those things. So even if you wanted to make a pivot and go in a completely different path, man, that those character traits are so appealing, I think, to hiring managers.
Is that what your team does? Is kind of bring some of that? Hey, don't take the blinders off here a little bit, radar guy, and let's look at something a little bit different, see what's out there.
Yeah. But so many come out, they'll say, "Oh, I just did. I was I was infantry. Yeah, I was a sniper. Who's going to hire me? I diffused bombs. There are no jobs like that." We're like, "No, come on, man. You got so much to offer. What do you want to do?" Because once you find that path for them and they start buying into, well, yeah, I am coachable. I am a leader. I do have this toughness to me. I have these, I persisted. I got knocked down so many times, but I know how to get back up. I got these traits that corporate America desperately needs. You can teach that person the skill sets for that particular job. That's the easier part, right? You can say, Chad, you get a great technician for air conditioning. If they're a pain in the ass to work with and they can't get along with anyone and they give up when it gets tough, you don't want that person on the team.
No, you're going to ask anybody on this podcast, I do not want to work with that person.
Yeah, no one does. But you get so with the right attitude and the hunger and the drive. It's like, all right, let's go, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Jordie.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Jordie. Why not hire a veteran? Are there any stigmas or misconceptions that employers might have about a veteran that would make them
good question.
No?
Most hiring managers are civilians. 98% of America did not serve. So it's more often than not, it's a civilian who's evaluating that veteran. And often that civilian is just ignorant. They don't, nothing. And, they just haven't been exposed to the military culture. They don't know what the typical veteran went through. They think of vet and they think of a guy running around with a gun, and so sometimes it can be a challenge to get over that and to let them understand that, hey, this is not what you think it. So we try to we do our best to coach the vets to sort of tell their story, right? Don't just say, "Hey, I'm a leader." But like, give us a story behind that. What made you a leader? Oh, this one time I was fixing the plane. I had to stay up for 48 hours, right? Like really tell that story so the civilian can understand it. And unfortunately, I think some hiring managers, luckily it doesn't come up often, but does he have PTSD? And I'm like, I know so many civilians who struggle from, anxiety and, why are the vets just the only ones who are allowed to,
it always made sense to me. I mean, I need people that are going to be on time, brush their teeth, put their clothes on the correct way. That sounds like military to me, man. You know,
I know.
so
It's
whatever.
we have to say that about job apps. I just want someone. I hear that a lot. Just give me someone who's going to show up on time.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, is that where our standards are? Like, show up on
I mean,
time?
think, Marissa, how many times have you had somebody scheduled for a job interview and they just didn't show up?
So many.
Yeah.
So many. It breaks my heart every time.
Yeah.
They have to go cry.
boggles my
It's
mind.
frustrating. It's super annoying.
People, I don't know when that happened in America. Like, I just knew if I was growing up and I didn't show up for an interview, man, my dad would have. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
You know, people don't even think about it. You know, I mean, I think it's just because they know there's going to be somebody else who's going to invite them the next one. You know, they're exposed to thousands of jobs at their fingertips anytime on Indeed, and they just don't have that pressure. I mean, everybody struggles with that, with the candidate who just doesn't act professionally in their job search. That's why when you find, like Chad, you were saying, you find somebody you're interviewing who like is showing a spark of some of those great soft skill qualities, you're like, come on, man, let's go. I'll teach you the other stuff, you know? So
yeah, big time.
I have a question.
What about go ahead, Marissa. Sorry.
I was going to ask him, so do you have like a favorite success story? Someone like you worked with, as a veteran that like still makes you proud?
Yeah,
No?
I have so many. One of my favorites though is I was helping a retired, I think, lieutenant colonel from the Army, so like 24 years or something. And I was like, come on. I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know. Just don't put me in front of a computer again. I've been doing that for my whole career. I don't want to. I'm like, come on, man. What do you want to do? What's your dream job? I go, you don't sound excited. I want you to get fired up for this. And I go, come on. I go, money isn't an issue. What would you do every day? He goes, I want to go fishing. I want to fish every day. And he starts laughing. I go, that's all right. We got you. So we got him a SkillBridge working as a fishing tour guide up in Montana, somewhere in the sticks of Montana.
Oh, I want to go there.
Yeah.
And he was just so happy. It was a job. It paid like 30 grand. It was not, but he's like, I'm good with the money. I just want to do something that I feel excited about every day. And so he took tourists out fishing every day. And I love a story like that, because I knew if we put him in an office somewhere, which he would have gotten a job easily, he wouldn't have had the satisfaction or the career happiness that he deserves, like all of us. You know, he would have just been miserable in his last 10 or 20 years of working. And so anyway, that was sort of one of them that stands out.
Yeah, that one was cool.
That guide fishing, man, that can go one of two ways in your love. Sounds like that guy did. Because imagine you're fishing only with people that probably don't know how to fish. That can be very aggravating to somebody that really knows how to fish well.
He must be super patient.
Yeah.
That's right. So, all right. So the Seven Eagle Group, you have you're tell us about that. So the business itself is growing, right? And how many people do you help on an annual basis? How many of them do you help place? Do you have kind of metrics or whatever that you feel
we sort of pivoted this, or like 7 months ago, we changed our whole model. We used to be more of a recruiting agency. So we placed like 100 people in jobs. Last year we pivoted and we became more of this academy where we're now placing, by the end of this year, we'll probably put like 4,000 people into jobs this year, all around the country. So it's like 10xing what we used to do. It's more of a volume game, but I love it because that's more in line with, why I started this. When I started, I was like, man, I want to help thousands of vets connect with great careers, just really like move the needle on the veteran job satisfaction, the underemployment, the unemployment. I wanted to, feel like I'd left a mark. And I just wasn't doing that when we were more of an agency. But now that we opened it up, we're impacting a lot more people.
4,000 people. So you went from 400 to 4,000.
This year in 2026, it should be.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting because we're growing really fast, and because there's not a lot of companies out there who are really helping the veterans really figure out what they want to do, what's next. helping them with their networking and providing so much live content. I don't think there's anyone doing what we do. The recruiting business, it's very transactional. I mean, Marissa, somebody gives you a resume and you're evaluating them on a sheet of paper, and you don't really have a chance. If you had a chance to hear them talk for 10 minutes or 10 seconds just to introduce themselves, you'd know much more quickly. Oh, I like her, I like him. And we're, by us doing it more on Zoom, and it's more of this interaction, it's becoming a better experience for both sides, the clients and the candidates.
What do you think is the biggest? So the question was asked about misconception about what the business owners might be missing. What about the guys coming out of the military, the gals coming out, the vet, the SkillBridgers, whatever? What's the biggest misconception that they have, thinking, here I am, and then what happens?
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard. Jim could probably answer that one better, just because I didn't serve. But my feeling is there's so much structure in the military. It's like, this is the way you do it, and that's how you learn. And there's no, we're doing this perfectly, and everyone, is going to be here on time, and we're going to get the job done. And there's no excuses, and then you come to the corporate side, and I think it's a little bit of a culture shock for them to say, wait a minute, why aren't these guys working as hard as I am? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, a huge letdown. I remember getting out of the military and going to work for a company, and people, I remember one girl that worked for me that couldn't get there on time. She was never on time, never. And I remember the first week, every day she was late. And finally on Friday, I waited till she got there at 8:30, and I said, we start work at 8. And she literally kind of rolled her eyes and said, it's only 8:30. And I mean, she had no comprehension.
So I made her a deal. To probably someone like you served so long, and it's like, wait a minute, what?
I made her a deal. I said, that's fine. Listen, just get here whatever time you want. And she went, oh, great. And I said, but then you got to stay that many minutes after. And she goes, I don't think you can do that. I mean, that was the whole, it just blew me away. That
sums it up perfectly. That's like, it's getting used to that. We had one guy who got a young, he served 4 years, but he was a Marine, and he was so squared away, and he got into a job and he got fired 3 days later. And I called the guy, the owner. I was like, what happened? He goes, he came in here and he started, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you slacking? And he took it to the extreme. He didn't ease into the corporate civilian culture, but so I would probably say, Troy, that's just getting used to the culture, just a different environment, and anyway, we have
probably a certain extent of just not having someone tell you what to do all day, right?
Right. So, now you have freedom. It's a little different,
Well, and also I think a lot of them, and this is just from what my short time working with some of them, Jordie, is, and I was probably the same way, but they think that their salary expectations are much higher,
a little out of whack,
than what's really going on out there.
Yeah.
Really? Why do you think that is? Where do they get that? Or
no idea. But I mean, E4, or an E5 that I'm working with, his salary expectations, he said, well, I'd like to be making 6 figures. Well, a lot of people would like to be making 6 figures, but
it's hard because I think they're on a very regimented pay scale in the military, and they come out saying, okay, I'm at this level after 15 years. Let me go across them. Oh, that's going to be 6
But see, what they don't understand is a lot of the pay in the military that they get, their housing and all that isn't taxed.
Right. So it's even bigger.
So it seems like they make much more.
Yeah.
Because so much of their pay isn't taxed. And when you get out in the civilian world, you're paying taxes.
Yeah, it's a little different. But we do our best to educate the vets about the civilian side, and especially the compensation. And it's like, man, just get your foot in the door, start working. Don't worry about the entry level pay, because once you get in there and you work your butt off and you're first in and last to leave, they're not going to want to let you go. They're going to do whatever they can to keep you, and you'll always be at the top of their earning potential. I mean, the earning, the pay scale, but you got to take the pressure off of them. You can't expect to come in and make a certain amount without them seeing what they're going to get in return for that. We have the woman today who was on from the, or yesterday from the Philadelphia Eagles. So she went to West Point and now she's working at the Eagles in like operations. And she's like, it's not even a full-time role. Like it's still part-time. It's not at all what I thought I'd be making salary-wise. But she goes, I come in here, nobody beats me to work. Nobody stays later than me. I volunteer for any assignment they'll give me. I get along with everyone. I network. Like she's like doing it right. Like she's making her mark. And I said, I guarantee you will be at a C level in a sports organization very soon, because the typical civilian does not work like that in corporate America.
So is this someone that you helped place within the...
No, she was one of the mentors who came in. We invited the Eagles to come, and she came in to represent the Philadelphia Eagles and talk about what it's like to work in sports.
Okay. Very nice.
She shared her story, and everyone was like shocked because everyone thought, oh, she's probably making 150 grand working at the, she's not. She's at an entry level role that's well below her skill level. That's well below her compensation level for her skills, but she's just playing it smart. She knows like, hey, whatever, if I have to suck it up for a year in my life, hard in the beginning, I don't care, but I'm in the door at one of the best sports organizations, and they're going to see me in action, and they are not going to want to let me go when they see how great I work, And I love that attitude.
On a resume. Holy crap,
Yeah.
Having that on your resume.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of that is just the culture shift, I guess, and just getting used to, so just a little different. It's not as structured.
That's why I'm here, Jordie, is just to have it on my resume. Say that I worked with Troy.
Smart ass.
That's right. Hey, who wouldn't want that? So the business itself. So it's interesting. So what I like about your platform and what you all are doing, and I know you've joined forces and you're expanding and growing, is, and I've been saying it to my team for a long time, that resumes are, if they're not dead, they're dying. In my view, to me, they're almost totally worthless, because you can just, here's who I want to be today, spit it out in 30 seconds, and there you go, right? Yep. It's AI is super cool and it's super helpful, and there's a million things that it's good for, but it can make things hard, right? Especially for recruiters. So you do things a little bit differently. One of the things I like about your platform is that, like you said, is you're bringing some personality to it, right? Yeah. So here's my background, but what you do is you put a little video. Everybody puts a little video of themselves on the platform to introduce themselves, saying, hi, I'm Jordie, and this is me, and whatever. So tell us about that, how that came to be.
Yeah,
that's kind of forward thinking.
What you said. So when I started this, 12 years ago, I had the same thought. I'm like, I hate these resumes. I hate them. Like, I don't want anyone evaluating me on a sheet of paper, because there's always somebody with better sounding skills out there, or better college, or better connect something on paper.
No. You went to Wisconsin.
But I just knew, like, I want you to meet me. I want you to, like, let's talk for a minute or two. And I know you'll like me if we talk, but too many people don't even get that opportunity to go head to head. Like Marissa's evaluating a stack of resumes for a job. You can't interview 20 people, 50, 100, you can't. You have to cut it somewhere and say, all right, bring these 5 in. And my experience has been, some of the best people I've hired over the years are ones that had mediocre resumes, but you meet them and you're like, oh my gosh, I love you. You are the person I want to work with, right? Just something about, they have that factor, you click, and whatever that is, you can't tell that from a sheet of paper. So we have the vets each just we call it a video intro, and it could be 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and just give a quick elevator pitch, tell people who you are, have your passion come through. And I guarantee, like, if I gave you, Marissa, if I gave you, here are 10 resumes, pick your top, rank them 1 to 10, and then I gave you 10 little video intros, they're not going to line up. They're going to be different because you're going to see something in a candidate talking to you, that personality, that you're going to say, I like her. I want to take a chance on this one. And the resume doesn't do that. And especially today, Troy, like you were saying, with the AI, in seconds, somebody takes your job description, takes their resume, puts in a ChatGPT and say, make this sound awesome. And it's going to sound awesome. ChatGPT doesn't put out crappy resumes,
Well, it's a beautiful thing. Marissa's only on this show to find a date. So the whole video, right?
Yeah, we definitely do. Like, there's candidates where like the resumes, I'm like, this could go either way, but then they've been like amazing or great. And I had like success with, telling the client, just talk to them. I know you or these like saw their resume on your end internally and rejected them, but I promise they're great, and he ended up getting hired. So
yeah,
definitely does.
It 100%.
So what's the crystal ball tell us? What's going to, so resumes, I mean,
I agree with you. I think they're going away.
Tomorrow, but what do you think?
And there are even services now. I was just watching an ad for job seekers saying, let us apply to 200 jobs for you. Give us your resume, tell us what you want to do, and we'll send out 200 applications for you today, a day. So it's like these candidates are applying for jobs. They don't even know the name of your company. So when you go to call them, hey, I'm calling for Blue Collar, they're like, who is this? What is this about again?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that's your first impression after you apply, or they don't even show up.
And they applied, right?
Right. And I don't know. I just feel like it's sort of like the way where I see this shift where the trade jobs are becoming so popular. I just feel a lot of that has to do with the technology. It like bit us in the ass. It's like, can you imagine saying, oh, I want to be a graphic designer today, or I want to be a writer, or even like our job, or recruiting? Like those jobs are all, I feel like so many of them are just going to go away. I have in my neighborhood, we have 50 homes, and six kids just graduated from college in May or whatever. And 5 of the 6 of them are still living with their parents, unemployed, walking dogs, babysitting. One of the 6 is a landscaper. He's the only one working. All the others who spend $200,000 on their college educations are all struggling to find work today. You know,
Chad will hire him.
Yeah. Sounds like one of my boys. You don't live close to me, do you? I'm with you, man. Resumes are out. If somebody tells me, hey, I'll send you my resume, I'm like, please don't send me that. Just come in here. Let's talk. And it's even hard to tell over a phone interview sometimes. I like to see body language.
People have 2 screens open now. One of them, you're asking me the question, hey, why do you want to be an air conditioning guy? And I'm looking on the other screen. It's giving me the answer to what you just asked me.
Yeah.
AI picks up your question. I say, hey, he's going to ask questions. Give me the perfect answer.
I was wondering what you were kept looking at.
Yeah.
To your left.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so go back in time. All right, so we're trying to go forward, and I agree. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's going to look very different in the next 10 years for sure.
Yep.
All right, so but go back to get into your 1987 El Camino and go, all right, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. What would you do different?
Oh my gosh, today. I probably would have gone down a tech route. I don't know about you guys, but we looked at that when the technology came out. We like, oh, the nerds, look at those nerds working at Facebook. I don't know. You would have
started Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
That would have been a good move.
Yeah,
the profile pic would have been that El Camino, I think.
Yeah, I would have. If I could do it all again, when I was in my 20s, I tried to pick like cool careers, like where I'd have fun and stuff. I probably would have focused more on making money. Younger. I thought I'm 50. I thought I'd be at the beach by now. I'm working harder than I do now than when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, that's something. But what would you do? What would you do at the beach?
Oh my God. Probably work. Once you get bit by, once you get bit by the entrepreneurial bug, man,
it's hard.
You're in it. You're in it 7 days.
It's fun. It's fun. Well, it's fun to think about that. Yeah. So where's this business going next? What's
I don't know. I want to, we've got a really good crew of younger vets like Tyler and Matt and Ernie, and just some really good folks who are super committed to the mission. And I mean, I would love for them to keep going with this for a long time. I want to do some other things in a few years. I would love to help the vets who want to start their own businesses. I'm a big fan of guys who, men and women who want to sort of do their own thing a little bit. And it's not for everyone, but we've noticed that about 15% of the vets, they just don't want the traditional job. Maybe they're retiring and they're good financially, and they just don't want to now go commute and work in an office. And maybe it's having a little side business or something. So I'd love to get into that, but I think I'll always be involved because I love it. I just truly love the work, and it's nice to have the feel good behind it. It's not just a job, but it's really helping somebody with their career, and their whole family benefits when we can get somebody who's miserable at work, which a lot of vets and civilians are. You just you're not happy at work and you don't enjoy it. Maybe you're underpaid, or you're doing work you don't enjoy, or unemployed, and we can get that person into a path that gives them some passion back in their working career and professional career. I feel like a lot of other good things sort of fall in line when we can do that. So
I imagine that you've been, doing this for quite some time, and your role, I don't know what you're the founder of this, but now you're transitioning to something a little bit different. It sounds like pretty soon, if not already. Because veterans may or may not know. I mean, the SkillBridge, some might not even know it exists, right? So and access to capital and different franchise opportunities. And so I imagine a guy like you could take someone under their wing and go, hey, let me help you navigate some of these waters a little bit. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, love it. I love the mentorship, the training part. I get a lot of joy out of that myself. Because most don't have it. Most don't have. They're on their own. They're trying to figure out what they want to do with their career, and it's hard, man. Imagine your strategy to get hired is to just throw in your application on as many jobs as you can. Most of those people never hear back from the hiring companies. Their resumes go to these black holes, and it's discouraging, and and they end up settling with their career. And anyway, so I love opportunities to help and to guide them and do cool things with them. So
nice.
Sounds super satisfying, man. I know about that passion of helping other people, and we appreciate what you do, buddy.
Thank you, man. Means a lot. Appreciate that.
So what would you say to a business owner who likes the idea of this, but hasn't worked in this program, hasn't hired a veteran yet? What would you say to them as far as giving that someone a shot, or looking at some of the?
I mean, man, I would say just sort of try it, give it an opportunity, see what it's like to have somebody come work for you where you don't have to pay him or her for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and just to see if you guys like each other, test drive one another. And what will happen is you will make a really smart hiring decision at the end of that. It's either going to work out or it won't. Both of them are good scenarios for both sides, right? But if it does work and you both like each other, you have the odds in your favor of that person having more retention, just, being a better employee, because you got that awkward sort of getting to know you stage out of the way.
Yeah.
Which is
and
hard.
You got
most
there's
vets
a loyalty.
What were you saying?
There's a loyalty factor.
Loyalty. Well. Yeah. And most vets half of vets today don't make it their first year anniversary. And by year 2, almost all of them are gone out of their first job and into something else. And I just feel the reason that happens to the vets is they don't get a chance to sort of do a SkillBridge opportunity and just to sort of test it out without the pressure of having to have a salary when they're doing that. And I think this program allows companies, I feel, just to build really strong teams of people. And sometimes it might, it might take going through 5 people before you find one who is a really good aligned with what you want that position to be.
Right.
And I'd rather learn that, like, even in my company, we have about 30 people here, and most of them are SkillBridgers, because I want them to see, do you like working here before you become an employee? And I won't hire anyone off the street anymore, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like the old way is so silly. We had one company last year. He hired 48 SkillBridgers from us, and he wrote me a note after, and he goes, I just did the math. We saved $1.2 million. So it was 48 guys. He was paying $72,000 a year as a tech job, and he had them for 4 months each. So no salary, no benefits for 48 people at $72,000. It came out to $1.2 million. He goes, but even better than the 1.2 savings was I just hired the best of those, the ones who really liked it here and the ones who I liked, who showed me they could perform. And to me, that makes just so much sense, So if any business has a chance to try that model, you won't want to go back to hiring a civilian with all the risk and unpredictability of that.
Well, you know what they say about $1.2 million, don't you, Jim?
I do. Every $1.2 million helps. It does.
It does. I've heard that to be true. Everybody seems to agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. So let's do a little round the horn, give everybody one more chance to ask Jordie a question or two. So who wants to go? Marissa, you've been anxious. I can see it.
Yes, sorry. So I guess, I know you said you really enjoy it and everything, and you're planning on growing. I guess in the next 5 years, what's something that you're really hoping you accomplish or get to do that you're really looking forward to?
What's something I'm looking to accomplish?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your daughter?
Yeah. She just got home from school.
She's ducking now. I would love to be the like go-to organization for all the vets and mill spouses and transitioning service members. So we have 1,000 people a day in our session, not 100. And we're growing in that direction. But that's what I want to accomplish, because I know we can help so many more people with their career paths and introduce companies like you guys to more people. And when they are exposed to that, I think good things happen. And why? I got a question for you. Why is your blue collar shirt red?
So I figured I could get red because my girls go to Crown Point with the Bulldogs. So I could wear it like when I go to my daughter's like volleyball games. It's like a Crown shirt. Have the people. There's a lot of blue collar companies around. So over here, so it's like, so they can ask me a question.
So you could change the name then to All Eagles Group, right?
There you go.
Nice, yeah. So I have a question, Jordie, that just with the work that you're doing now, is there a percentage of how many people from each branch of service, or is it pretty much well divided between the different branches? And of the 5 branches now, is one more apt? The people, who's getting hired the most, if you will?
Good one.
Is there really a difference?
I know what Jim wants you to say. So
it is good.
No. I know which ones I would hire. But
it's an interesting. We happen, the Army, the branch of the Army has the most people by size. They have, I don't know how many more. I think it's like a 6X or something from the other branches. But we happen to get a lot of Air Force and Navy. They seem to be extremely popular branches for us. We get a lot of those guys, those men and women.
You think a lot of that's word of mouth?
Yeah, I think so. And we also we used to be very tech heavy. We did a lot of technology positions and cyber, and those positions are very popular in those branches. But it's across the board, but those are the two big ones that we get. I haven't noticed Air Force get hired more than Navy, or these guys get hired more than the others. I think we haven't dug that deep into it, but.
And then do you give out awards to like people from the Navy when Navy beats Army in the football game? Is there any celebration that goes on? I'm just curious. I'm asking for a friend.
Of course. Well, Matt on our team is from the Navy, so he's
there. You go.
To
I play baseball, Jim, not football.
Us, so. That was a good game this year.
That was. Yeah. What's the overall record, Jim? Army, Navy.
Navy is ahead by, I think, 3 games.
Oh, really? It's that close.
Oh, yeah. It's like 60-57 and 1 tie or something.
Have you been to one of them yet?
I've been to 2. Yeah.
2, nice.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I went
to
one.
Great experience.
Great experience.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Well, I think that an employer would be out of their mind not to give it a shot. But am I correct in saying that there's almost like a dual accountability for the vet, where they feel like they're held accountable by Seven Eagle and the company that they're OJT that they're doing their
because they're our responsibility during this time, so we check in with them once a week to make sure they're doing well, and they have a big responsibility on their shoulders, right? They want to represent well, they want to do a good job, they want to have it result in a hire for them, so then other people can come behind them and they can open up that company to more vets, because that's our goal, is to get more of these guys hired into corporate America. So
well, hell, it sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Or they were like, oh my gosh, no, not this. Give me something else. Can I move somewhere else?
So speaking of that, so my question is, so for the business itself, so how many different partners? So Blue Collar, we're a partner of yours and help place people and hire people ourselves and that sort of thing. It's been a great relationship for us. How many other partnerships do you like ours? Do you have? How many more are you looking for? Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah. Gotcha. So we like I said, this is I think our 7th month with this new model. So I think we have about 40 today. We just added 10 people to that team. It used to be a team of like 2 people going after.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now we have 10 on there. So we anticipate we'll have about 350 at the end of this year. And
from 40 to 350?
Yeah. I really feel that's going to happen, just because there's so much demand on both sides. There's tons of vets who are looking for great careers, and there are tons of companies who, as you guys know, need great workers. And we need both sides. And when we get more candidates coming on board, more of the company, it'll make it easier for us to get companies. When we get more companies, the candidates will come at the same time. And so it's going to be super exciting this year. I'm really looking forward to it. So
you are very humble about it, because I can tell that you're like bursting at the seam for what's about to happen. And I'm excited for you. It's awesome.
Thank you, man. Cool. You know the drill. It's super exciting, and the ideas come, but now the execution is the work. The work, right?
The ideas are the fun part, right? Then all of a sudden, the ideas are
the fun part. It's like, oh man, all right, here we go.
And if anybody wants to reach out to you and connect, just go to the 7eaglegroup.com.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just 7eagle.com. That's our main webpage, and we'd love to help anyone who's looking for work, or who wants to come on and help us mentor these amazing candidates. We would appreciate it. And then just so grateful to you guys for what you do for this community and Blue Collar, looking to really put a lot of veterans to work in these amazing careers that your clients represent, all across all different specialties. I mean, it's an exciting career path, and it's not like my grandfather's job of working on the old manufacturing floor. You guys have some really top-notch clients and opportunities for men and women to get into this exciting path. So just truly an honor for us to team up with you guys and do whatever we can to get more people exposed.
So let me say one more thing. So I'm gonna put Chad on the spot if I can. So one of the things that we've been doing so Chad came onto this same kind of humility. Oh, how's your day? Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Right. But so in the background, you see this thing called the Blue Collar Trades Academy. Chad is starting this new program in his office down in Fort Pierce, Florida. That I think you'd actually appreciate. I know you'll appreciate it. And it's because it's never happened before in human history. Chad?
No, it hasn't. And we checked back through Neanderthals. It was
all the way back
to
the Bible. Yeah.
So I actually have a class that I'm holding here in about a half an hour, where I am bringing in people that have just graduated from high school primarily, that don't know what they want to do with themselves either. And I train it in a fun way, and also a big part of my training has started to evolve with the soft skills you were talking about. Like, we don't just talk about air conditioning here, working on air conditioning equipment. We talk about brushing your teeth. I actually have a toothbrush in the bathroom.
Just one though, right? We don't have all
just one. Yeah, pass it around.
Wow. So yeah, that's always that was a big passion of mine, and thanks to Troy, I'm getting a chance to live that out, and I'm very excited about that. And just got some great news today that I'm probably going to bring on a lot more here very soon. So.
Nice. That's awesome. What a great thing. So you're teaching people who want it, who are considering going into the trades you're exposing them to all the different paths and that are out there for them. That's awesome.
Well, what's cool about it and what Chad has developed is we've got the virtual trade school. So we have that component, which gives us thousands of simulations, put them in every scenario where they can learn how to fix things without burning anything down. So that's a good thing, right? Number two is they're going to have training labs in the location that Chad has. So they get some real hands-on experience, like a real traditional trade school. Mm-hmm. Number three, they're going to be able to jump in a truck and ride along with real technicians.
Nice. I love it.
Right. So it's going to be very, very cool. And we've got 2 locations now, and we're going to expand that. I don't know if we're going to be quite as bullish as you're saying, going to 4,000 this year, but we're going to try. So
no, that's great. And I love that you're going after the high school kids young, because so many, I hate in our country here that we make these kids feel like you got to go to college next, Man, I wish I could have those years back.
It burns me up, man. It gets me all fired up when that seems to be the only
path. Just like, why aren't we exposing every high school kid to, hey, you can do this path, or here are some other ones, and look.
Well, luckily, this high school that I'm going to on Friday to present, the teachers and the principal feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting, because a lot of times they don't. They feel that everybody has to go to college because they went to college too.
We had one company, I think it was electrical. I was talking to him last week. He's like, oh yeah, we have some jobs. It's going to pay 95, or we have another one for 125. I was like, most college grads will never get to that level in their working career. Never. The average American, only 18% of them get to 100K. And here there's some such lucrative and exciting opportunities in the trades. And I just wish more people were exposed to those, And
we did a story, a blog one time, of how the true math of how when you measure college debt, and again, I'm pro college. I think it's great, right? So, but it's not for everybody. That's the point.
Not for everyone. That's all.
And when you take college debt and you take while those 4 years you're in school, the tradesperson is making money, saving the break, and by the time they get between 5 years and 10 years is the break even point where they actually make the same money, right? Wow. But the blue collar guy is way ahead because he doesn't have any debt, right? I don't know. Again, we're very excited about it. I'm glad that the world is talking about it. I'm glad you're talking about it with us and working with us. We're very blessed. So
no doubt, man. No doubt. Well, thank you guys for having me, man. This was super fun.